Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I've got another spring nail set for you guys. This is the inspiration picture I'll be using today. I found this set on IG and I'll credit the original creator and put their handle on the screen. This set turned out so pretty and perfect for spring, so let's get right into it. First, we're going to remove my current set using the Jello Peel Off Base Coat Remover Serum. I've been loving this peel off base lately because it saves me so much removal time. I'm applying this around my cuticle area and underneath my nail extensions, then letting it sit for about 5 minutes. After that, I gently start lifting around the sidewalls and the cuticle area using a wooden cuticle stick, just enough to help loosen the extensions. Sometimes the nails are already ready to be popped off, but most of the time I'll lift them slightly and then go back in with more serum so it can actually penetrate underneath the nails a little bit better. I let that sit for about another 5 minutes, and by then the extensions usually come right off. If you guys watched my last video, then you already know I adhered my half cover extensions using the Jello Peel Off Base Coat. Whenever I use it this way, it tends to kind of stick around the free edge, so I just have to buff any leftover product off before moving on. And once that's done, everything is fully removed and ready for the next set. No soak off necessary when using a peel off base coat. And now we can move right into prep. First, I'll prep the cuticles using the Sally Hansen Instant Cuticle Remover. I'm applying this around the cuticle area and letting it sit for about 10 seconds before gently pushing back my cuticles with a metal cuticle pusher. This helps lift away any dead skin from the nail plate and prepares the nails for better adhesion, which can also help prevent lifting later on. This next step is optional, but I do like to trim away any excess or loose skin for a cleaner look. You definitely don't have to do this, but I personally like this finished look it gives off. I'm going to go ahead and trim my natural nails down as short as possible. You definitely don't have to do this if you're trying to grow out your nails, but I personally like to keep them short so that they don't show up underneath my extensions. After clipping, I'm just filing away any jagged edges using this glass hand file. It's super gentle on my natural nails, which is why I prefer it over a regular nail file, and I'm just going to smooth everything out and refine the shape a little bit. Next, I'm taking a mini buffing block and lightly buffing the surface of my natural nails. You only want to gently remove the shine and add a little bit of texture so that the gel has something to adhere to. Alternatively, you can also use an e-file with a sanding band. If you want to speed up the process, I would do it at around 8,000 RPM, but I usually stick to a buffing block because it's more gentle on my natural nails. Now I'm using the Protein Prep Vitamin from Sweetie Nail Supply to dehydrate the nail plate. I'll just swipe that onto each nail and let it fully evaporate. After that, I'm following up with primer. I'm using the Young Nails Protein Bond just to help improve retention, even with a peel off base underneath. Next, I'm applying the Jello Peel Off Base Coat, which is the matching base for the remover serum I showed you earlier in the video. This is what allows me to remove my nails easily without soaking them off. I like to apply 2 thin coats, curing in between each layer for 60 seconds. If you're not using a peel-off base coat, you can skip this step and just apply a layer of your gel glue directly onto your natural nails instead. Now I'm quickly sizing out my full cover long almond extensions from Apres. These are the sculpted version and they work really well with those who have curved nail beds like mine. They can also give flatter nail beds a more sculpted look without needing to build the structure yourself with gel, so it's a pretty universal choice. Right now, I'm just going to make sure that each extension fits perfectly from sidewall to sidewall and then set them aside for now. You don't want any pinching or pressure on the nail because that can lead to discomfort or lifting later on. Next, I'm taking my e-file at around 6,000 RPM and etching the backside of the extensions using a mini sanding band. I prefer the mini sanding bands over the larger ones because they get into those crevices of the extensions way more easily compared to those bigger ones, especially around the cuticle area. So I'm just going to lightly add some texture so that the gel has something better to grip onto. The gel glue I'm going to use today is this Diami Clear Balancing Gel. It works both as an overlay gel and a gel glue, so it's pretty versatile, which I love. Like I mentioned earlier, if you're not using a peel-off base coat like I am, you can go ahead and apply a layer of this gel glue directly to your natural nails, cure that for 60 seconds, and then continue with this step. If you are using a peel-off base coat, you can simply apply the gel glue to the backside of your extensions, adding a small bead near the cuticle area, and then applying the extensions at a 45-degree angle, slowly pressing it down until the gel reaches the free edge to avoid trapping any air bubbles, and flash cure it under your UV gooseneck nail lamp. I'm not doing an overlay today because these are sculpted nail tips, so they already have enough structure and an apex built in. I'm just going to paint directly over top and they'll be perfect. Once everything is applied, I'm going to fully cure this for 60 seconds to make sure that the gel glue is completely cured. Then I'm going to go back in with my e-file and I'm going to set it to around 6,000 up to 8,000 RPM. I don't really like to go much higher than that, especially around the cuticle area, but I'm just going to start shaping and thinning out that cuticle area. I like to do just a couple of light passes until it starts to feel nice and thin, and then I refine it a little bit if needed. The goal is just to remove the bulk around the cuticle area without actually damaging your natural nail. I'm also going to etch the extensions, especially around the edges and the corners, just to give it some grip and remove the shine. This also helps the product adhere better and prevents lifting later on in the future. So I'm basically doing 2 steps at once here, blending the cuticle area so that everything sits flush and seamlessly, but being very careful not to dig into my natural nail. I always keep my bit parallel to my natural nail because I don't want any rings of fire or damage to it. And after etching the extensions, I'm taking a 180 grit hand file just to smooth out any sharp or pointed areas and just rounding out the shape of my extensions. Then I'll dust everything off and wipe away any remaining residue with rubbing alcohol. Any percentage works. Next, I'm taking a bit of acetone on an oval brush and lightly swiping it along the cuticle line. This helps gently melt and blend the gel extensions into my natural nail so that everything looks super seamless. For color, I'm using this shade. I believe it's called Pink Bubbles from D&D. I wanted something really close to the inspiration picture, and this ended up being the best match. So I ended up using about 4 thin coats because these D&D gel polishes need a few layers to build opacity, but that's completely normal. Of course, I cured in between each coat for 60 seconds. And then it was onto the color I was going to use for the ombre. I didn't have anything that matched the inspiration picture exactly, so I just want to quickly show you guys my options. This first one is from Temu. It's a blue shimmer cat eye, and it was a little bit too blue compared to the picture. This one right here is called April Mist from Madame Glam, and as you can see, it's almost the perfect shade. It just doesn't have that cat eye effect, which is why I decided to not go for it. Then I have a few from Born Pretty. This one isn't really close to the inspiration picture, but I still thought it would be a nice option. I decided that it was a little bit too dark though, even though it's really pretty and something I definitely use for another set. I also considered this one, which again isn't exactly like the inspo, but I like the idea of the silver shimmer with the pink undertones. I thought it could have been really cool for this design, so this is the one I actually chose. It's a green turquoise base with chunky glitter, plus that glittery cat eye shimmer that I was looking for. And I actually really love this polish. I've worn it before as a full vacation set, and it just quickly became one of my favorites in my nail drawer. So I was really happy to use this again for this design. I started by applying it in an ombre style, placing it on the outer half of the nail, and then blending it into the jelly base with an ombre brush. And I probably should have done one nail at a time. I didn't know what I was thinking here, but I used my magnet to pull the cat eye shimmer to one side of the extension. You don't need to activate it on both sides, just kind of guide it in one direction, and that's enough to get that effect. Then I used my mini flash lamp to cure each nail for a few seconds as I worked on them one by one. Ideally, I would recommend doing this one nail at a time, unless you have a mini lamp like this one to help control the placement. And once everything was placed and flash cured, I fully cured it for 60 seconds in my lamp. I went in with a second coat because I wanted the color to be more vibrant and the shimmer to be more intense, and that's exactly what it did. A second layer really helped the cat eye effect stand out a lot more, and it intensified the color as well. And this is what it looked like after the second coat. It was so much more reflective and dimensional. Then I'm going to apply a matte top coat all over my nails. I really only needed it on the middle, pinky, and thumb since those are the nails that I'm doing chrome isolation on, but I just decided to apply it to all of them. And I'll cure that for 60 seconds. This should be enough for isolation, but just in case, I'm going to lightly buff those nails with a buffing block as well, just using the smooth side, not the super gritty one. This helps remove any remaining shine so that the chrome will adhere properly, and I promise if you do both these steps, your chrome will not stick to your base at all. Then I'll wipe away any dust with alcohol or acetone. Next, I'm going in with a thick non-wipe overlay gel. I always recommend a non-wipe gel for chrome designs, it's really important. And this thicker consistency also gives me more control and working time for this design. This is the Jinbei Crazy Thick Top Gel. I'd use it all the time on my channel. I'll have a link down below along with everything else I use in this video, so make sure you guys go check that out. And I'm going to use it with a 12mm liner brush to create all of my streaky details. I'm not going to over-explain each nail here, I'll just kind of show a reference picture on the screen so you guys can follow along visually. But basically, what I'm doing is placing one streak and then flash curing for about 5 seconds before moving on to the next. Each time, I reload my brush with fresh gel for the next streak. I don't do one streak and then go into the next. I always put fresh gel each time onto my brush. That way there's enough product on my brush to actually work with. And even though this is a thick gel, it can still shift a little bit. So that flash curing in between each streak will definitely help the design stay exactly where you want it to. And if you want the green tone to be a little bit deeper, go ahead and mix a tiny amount of black polish in, but personally I like how this looks, so I just left it as is. And once all the streaks are done, I do a final cure for 20 seconds, and then I go in with my chrome powder. This is from Amazon. I'll try to link it down below for you guys. I'm not sure if it's still there. And I just took an eyeshadow sponge and really rubbed it into my isolated chrome design. As you can see, it's not sticking to my base at all, and that's because the matte top coat and buffing combination was really important. Trust me, if you do those steps properly, it makes a huge difference and prevents the chrome from sticking where it shouldn't. Then I go in and wipe away any excess chrome using the clean side of my sponge or any soft sponge that you have, just to remove any remaining specks. And after that, I'll top coat with any no wipe top coat. If you have an extra one, I actually recommend using a separate top coat just for chrome designs because tiny chrome particles can transfer into your main bottle, which is just something you should be aware of. I didn't really mind it for this set, so I'm just using the same top coat I usually use to fully seal in all the chrome nails and then cured that for 60 seconds. Next, I'm going in with this gel product from a cart. I placed a generous amount onto my palette and divided it into 10 equal size pieces to form the flowers. And I placed each piece onto the nail one at a time and pressed them down, focusing the most pressure in the center so that the petals naturally start to spread outwards. Then I gently guided the petals towards the edge of the nails. And I used the corner of my tool to refine the shape and sharpen the edges, making the petals look more defined and pointed. If needed, you can also press a little bit more in the center to help the petals blend in together more smoothly and create like a softer flower shape. And I repeated that same process on each nail and fully cured that for 60 seconds once everything was in place. Then I'm going to take this pink polish from Madame Glam and place a small amount onto my palette. And I'm going to take this mini sponge and lightly wetting it with alcohol. I dab off any excess so that it's not super saturated. And I put some of that pink polish onto the sponge and gently start dabbing it over my fully cured flowers. And this step just adds a little bit of dimension and color to the flowers. I'm working really lightly here and just building it up slowly rather than going in with too much product at once. And I'm also going to go ahead and add a few tiny dots throughout the flowers using the smallest dotting tool I have. And this just adds a little bit more detail and I think it's super cute. You don't necessarily have to cure in between the sponging and the polka dots, but you can if you want to. And then I'm going to go in with my caviar beads. I'm placing a small amount of the thick gel right in the center of each flower, and then go in with your larger caviar beads and place them into the center of the flower. Just make sure that the pink is fully cured before doing this. And once you're happy with the placement, go ahead and fully cure it for 60 seconds to lock everything in. After that, go in with your favorite top coat to seal the entire design. This is really important because it helps protect the details and keeps everything long lasting. I also like to go very lightly over the caviar beads with top coat as well, and this will help prevent them from tarnishing or dulling over time and keep their shine. Then go ahead and fully cure for 60 seconds. The final step is adding the bubbles using the thick overlay gel. I picked up a small amount of gel on my brush and let it slightly level down using gravity, and then I placed it onto my nail and gently swirled it around in small circular motions, and then lift it up off the nail, and that'll create like a little bubble. Make sure you flash cure in between each bubble for a few seconds so that it holds its shape and doesn't shift around. I'm also following the placement of the inspiration picture, and I'll add reference pictures on screen so you guys can see exactly where I'm placing each bubble and you guys can follow along easily. Once everything is finished, I do a full cure and then I finish off the whole set with cuticle oil. I'm using this one from Blossom. It's the peach scented cuticle oil and I really love it. It smells so good. And here are the finished nails! I'm honestly obsessed with how these turned out. They're super springy, almost like early summer vibes, which is perfect since it's just around the corner. I love how vibrant the cat eye looks. I might honestly do this design on my other hand, but we'll see. If I do, I'll post it on Instagram, so make sure you guys go follow me on there. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!